What's up, guys? Welcome to Chemical Guys Detail Garage. Check out this Nissan Frontier. It is filthy. It's got mud and dirt all over it. Who knows where it's been? If you're brand new to detailing, this series is for you because we're gonna go through the entire detailing flow chart from start to finish to show you how to make any ride shine like it's new again.
Jason and I, we're gonna be getting into depth, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. Let's get started.
Let's get started. All right, guys, so before we start off with anything, I want to go over one simple concept, which is why are we doing all this? What is the purpose of using all of these special tools and equipment and chemicals? The number one thing that we're always trying to avoid is installing brand new scratches and swirls on any part of the vehicle. That includes the wheels, it includes your paint. So everything that we do and we teach you today is designed with that in mind.
So Jason, one quick question I want to ask you is why should we start at the wheels? Why can't I just wash the car first, then come back to the wheels? Why should I start at the wheels?
So there's a couple reasons why, and one of them is that you want to start with the dirtiest areas of the car first. The wheel is just naturally going to be dirtier because it's the thing that's touching the ground, right? It's kicking up all the dirt. It's constantly rotating, flinging, you can see right here, it's slinging mud everywhere. Another major reason we start with the wheels is because let's say you cleaned your entire car, right? Now everything looks pristine. We're going to the wheels, which is the dirtiest part of your vehicle, and now you're scrubbing with brushes, things are flinging all over, you're just gonna dirty up your car all over again, you're gonna have to wash your car again. So that's why we start.
So you're working double, basically.
You're working double. So we're trying to prevent you from doing more work than you have to.
There's something called brake dust, and brake dust is metal particles that are basically going to sit on the surface of the vehicle, or your wheel, if I should say, and over time it could potentially damage it, or the metal particles or the iron deposits can embed itself into the wheel and cause forever damage. Because I don't know if you ever came across a chrome wheel and it looks like it's all pitted. That is just because that is brake dust that has been sitting on there for like decades and people don't wash them, and over time it actually damages the finish of your wheel. So whenever you take the precaution and use multiple different types of brushes like the Rimpacas, the green flag tip brush, or even just the Border's Hair detailing brush, you're going to get into a much deeper detail and your wheels are going to be much cleaner and they're going to stay cleaner for much longer. All right, Jason, so let's get started into the wheels. Why do we have so many brushes? What does each brush do? Why should I use it? Give me a quick rundown. I see these three long ones, these curved ones.
Yeah, so every brush that we have here has its own specific function, and it's gonna help you and assist you with your detailing so that again, you work less and you scratch less. So like that's what everything here is for.
So let me just move these brushes out the way. And I see these are curved.
Yeah, so these are our Rimpaca Ultimate Reach Around brushes. They have an angle to the handle. And what that does is it kind of saves your wrist a little bit because you can get in at the undercarriage, you can go in through the spokes here without having to like bend your wrists at funky angles and stuff like that. For the places that are straight, where you don't have to get into a weird angle, we have the Rimpaca Ultimate wheel brush set. And these are great because they just go straight in and they fit really nicely. They have very soft material here, kind of like an alpaca, which is why they're named the Rimpaca. And they're not gonna scratch your wheels. You can use them dry or wet. So you can actually use these to dust your dash or the interior of your vehicle, as well as wet, which is how we're gonna use them today.
And then one key thing is whenever you're cleaning any type of wheel, we always recommend using something that's plastic. So that's why the Rimpacas are made out of plastic. So if it bangs up against your wheel, it's not going to scratch. The plastic's actually going to absorb all the hit and it won't scratch your surface of your wheel, because anything that has metal or a metal tip can potentially scratch. So the Rimpacas are 100% plastic, so if it hits, it won't damage it, and also has this cool grip, so you could stay gripped on whenever you're cleaning very dirty areas.
That's right. So again, back to the scratch thing. We don't want to scratch anything, so everything has its purpose. Along with that, accidents happen a little bit. You know, you're trying to be careful, but in the event you do actually accidentally clip something, like Henry said, the plastic is going to prevent you from scratching anything. Okay guys, so the first step to this is to grab a bucket and fill it with water, which we've already done. The second step is to get this little funky thing, which is called a dirt trap. What this is it has over 100 cyclonic filters. Basically what happens is you have dirt on your car, on your vehicle. When you clean that has to go somewhere, right? So it just doesn't disappear magically. I wish it would, but what happens is you're taking soapy water or soapy
brushes
or mitts or something, and washing the abrasives off of your car. But then when you dunk it back in your bucket, all of those abrasives are going back into this bucket. So over time, this is gonna get a little dirty, and you're gonna be eventually taking dirty water and rubbing that on your car, and that's gonna cause scratches. This prevents that because this gets inserted at an angle, and it creates a seal at the bottom of your bucket. And you can see we're using our ultra clear Chemical Guys heavy duty bucket here, so you can see right through to what we're doing here. This sits at the bottom of the bucket, and as the dirt goes in, the cyclonic filters will basically suck that dirt to the bottom and prevent it from rising back up into your fresh, clean water. So this actually helps you prevent more scratches and swirls.
And you actually, whenever we're done cleaning the wheel, you actually will see at the bottom how much the dirt and how much it traps. We went with a cyclonic design because the low cones, they're very, very tiny, so the dirt or grime that's sitting at the bottom can't rise back up. As soon as it's at the bottom, if we move it, it does not rise back up.
So the next thing we're gonna do is grab our chemical that we're using today, which today is gonna be the Diablo Gel Wheel Cleaner. This is a pH neutral wheel cleaner that's gonna be safe for all wheel types, powder coated, glossy,
chrome, aluminum.
Doesn't matter. So this is a very powerful cleaner. A fun fact for all the newbies is that pretty much all of our chemicals can be diluted. You don't ever need to really use these at full strength unless you're washing a really filthy vehicle, which will make your products last even longer, and you'll still get that beautiful clean. Yeah, better bang for your buck. So what we're gonna do is put 2 ounces in the bucket here. So a good rule of thumb here is just a nice squeeze is about 1 ounce. So we're gonna do 2 squeezes there. And then we're gonna pre-soak all of our tools here. This will add the lubrication to our tools so that we know we're not scratching our ride.
And how Jason said, our products are super concentrated, so Diablo Wheel Gel is concentrated, so you could dilute it into a secondary sprayer bottle like we went with the Ducky sprayer. So the Ducky sprayer, it foams up whenever you spray, so that's how we wanted to dilute it, just so we could cause extra lubrication. We actually diluted 3-to-1 into the sprayer bottle. In the back, it actually has a cool dilution ratio, so you never get mixed up on what dilution, or if you don't know how to dilute, the ratios are basically right there. You fill up to a 3-to-1, the rest water. And then we also have a different assortment of brushes up front. We do have the green flag tip brush. The green flag tip brush is going to help us clean the face of the wheel. It has a plastic handle. Remember, we want to avoid scratches and swirls. The flag tip brush, as soon as it gets wet, it gets super soft. The flag tips are going to open up so you can contour to any spokes on your wheels. So like this, you remove everything properly and you do not scratch the surface of the wheel.
The next thing we're gonna do is activate our bucket. Basically, you just shoot some water in there. That'll create nice soapy bucket, sudsy. And what I'm gonna do is explain what we're gonna do on this wheel, and then we'll just show you a nice fun little montage on how to do it. So the first thing we wanna do is spray the wheel with this Ducky sprayer bottle. As you can see, as Henry mentioned, it foams up on contact. Now the reason that's important is back to the scratching thing, right? This foam acts as a lubrication to all the dirt and grime. Actually, right now, it's probably pulling off some of the dirt without us even having to do anything. There's one thing I totally forgot to do, which is actually rinse the wheel first. Rinsing the wheel will take off any of the loose dirt and grime that's on there, and then this foam will lubricate anything else that's able to come and fall off with gravity. And that's just lessening our chance of scratching things because there's less dirt on there. It also lubricates all of our tools so that we don't install any new scratches and swirls. So the way this process is gonna work is we're gonna do FBD, face barrel details, and the wheel as well. So first we're gonna wash the face of this with our green flag tip brush. Then we're gonna hit the barrel with our Rimpacas. So get inside the spokes, get in between the brake calipers, all that stuff. Then we're gonna use our All in the Details boar's hair brush to get those finer details that we miss with the other brushes. So inside the lug nuts, the brake calipers themselves, and any hard to reach areas that we couldn't get with the others. And then finally, we're gonna wipe down the tire itself with our blue Stiffy brush. So let's get to it.
Foamy. All right, guys, so we just finished cleaning up the wheels. The wheels were filthy, but now it's time to move on to the body of the vehicle. And the body of the vehicle is going to be the next up fun part to wash it, because as you guys can see, there's a lot of dirt, filth sitting on it. And over time, if you let that dirt and filth sit on it, it's going to penetrate your clear coat, and over time, it could just damage it forever. Or whenever it comes to washing your vehicle, further down the line, it's going to be a lot more tedious. So we recommend constantly cleaning your vehicle, for one, to maintain your glazes, sealants, or waxes.
Your point about the dirt too is when you do seal and glaze and wax your car, when we'll get to that step, you're actually also protecting it from getting this dirty in the first place, which makes your washing easier. So you can wash, it's not a hassle to wash it every week.
Yeah, if you're protected.
If you're protected. But the reason we're using the 2-bucket method is because what's the average person gonna do here, right? I mean, me personally, before Chemical Guys, I would have just taken this to the automated car wash, right? Oh, my car is super clean. That seems like a great idea. It might be clean, but it's definitely damaged after that wash. Think about what we said over by the wheels about the dirt and how we get scratches in the first place. It's by rubbing abrasives on your clear coat. Look at these abrasives. These are crazy. Imagine you went into a car wash right now and those whirling
Rubber
things, the rubber is just like whipping this around your car. That's how you get the scratches and swirls. Also, I'm pretty sure they're not cleaning that in between everybody's wash. So not only do you have your own dirt whipping around your car, but you have the past 50 people behind you's dirt that got stuck on the brushes whipping around your car. So that's a terrible idea. You've taken the right step to now wash it yourself and do it the right way. What's that average person gonna do? I'll tell you myself again. I did some terrible stuff. I would take 1 bucket, no dirt trap, throw some random soap on here that didn't have any special properties to it. Probably had degreasers, which is killing my clear coat and all my coatings on there in the first place. And then even worse, I think I would take the dirty water that was in there and use that as the rinse at the end, which is stupid, but also I didn't know any better, right? I was a total noob. So this is why we have the 2-bucket method. And this method is gonna save your car from scratches and swirls. And it's basically a double filtration method. So what we're doing is we're filtering out all of the dirt that we're pulling off the car into our separate buckets. So why do we have 2 of them, Henry?
So whenever you come to have 2 buckets, you're gonna have one that's going to be your rinsing bucket, which is just going to be clean water.
So basically with the soapy bucket, that single bucket method, what you're doing is you have clean soapy water that you're applying to your car, you're pulling dirt off and then placing that into your bucket. Eventually, this is gonna become a combination of dirty water and soapy water. So what the 2-bucket method does is it keeps this bucket staying clean and soapy and puts all the dirty abrasive particles that you just pulled off your car into this bucket, filters that, and then all you have left is the clean, beautiful water.
So in 1 bucket, there's always gonna be soap and high lubrication. All right, guys, so you guys might be asking us, what is this equipment that we're gonna be using that is sitting on top of the bucket? And that is a Foam Blaster R1. The Foam Blaster R1 connects to any standard garden hose. So if you have a standard garden hose, it comes with a handle. It shoots out pressure. All you need to do is simply attach it onto it and you're good to go to foam away. But if you do not have a Torque Foam Blaster or you do have a pressure washer, we also do offer different types of foam cannons that will produce tons of suds whenever you're washing your ride. We always recommend using something like this because this is going to lubricate the surface and it's going to help you remove the high amounts of dirt and grime easily as possible from the surface of the vehicle. But if you do not have that, do not worry. You can just still use the traditional 2-bucket method. Just simply rinse out your vehicle. You have your soap, you have your rinse water, and then you wash it like that.
As Henry said, this is a foam blaster, which is gonna add lubrication to our ride and pull off particles just on its own through how it works. It's a great invention and is just fun to use as well. It makes the detailing process fun. So we're gonna unscrew the cap. We've already filled it up with water all the way to the 1,000 milliliter mark. And we're gonna basically put in 2 ounces of soap. Today we're using Mr. Pink. Again, just like the Diablo, it's pH neutral. This is gonna give you a nice maintenance wash. Plus it looks pretty radical, like, you know, I mean, it's like 90s or 80s over here, neon pink. Smells amazing, which
like
it adds to the detailing fun. And once we have our soap in there, we're gonna screw back on the lid. And the next step, which is pretty important, you don't shake it. The initial desire when mixing is to wanna shake it, right? I love shaking my protein shakes, right? You like to shake things. To mix this, you don't wanna shake it because you want all the foam to end up on the car. If you shake it, you're gonna foam it inside the bottle and it's not gonna come out foamy. So we wanna stir it like this, basically.
Like wine.
Like a fine wine. You wanna stir that You can even get the palate notes on your, smelling that bubble gum smell. Now we're ready to go. So we're gonna add some soap to our soapy bucket and activate that as well. You can see we already have our dirt traps in there. We can put our wash mitts in to just get them pre-lubricated and soaked up. And now we're ready to wash the car.
And keep this in mind, guys. Whenever you guys are washing your cars, I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna be running out of suds. You could just constantly get back a foam nozzle or even just pressure and just reactivate them. And Mr. Pink or All Chemical Guys soap, they produce tons of suds, millions of suds that are going to lubricate the surface of the vehicle. It is very lubricated, and whenever this is gliding across the surface of the vehicle, it's going to remove everything off of it, prevent any scratches if you follow these proper techniques. So guys, now it is time to rinse down the vehicle just so we could try to knock off any loose scrap and debris. And then after that, we're gonna be showing you guys how to properly scrub down your vehicle to prevent scratches and swirls while you're washing it.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna rinse down the vehicle, then we're gonna grab our foam blaster, we're gonna foam the vehicle, we're gonna let it dwell for a minute to let any loose particles kind of fall off of the vehicle. Then we're gonna grab our chenille microfiber wash mitts. We're going to wipe down from top to bottom. We want to work with gravity, right? Get the dirtiest, the top parts first, so we're not bringing the dirt from the bottom back up to the top. Then we're gonna dip our chenille microfiber wash mitts into our clean water bucket, rinse it out outside of the bucket, make sure we're rubbing it on the dirt trap to get the particles down below, coming back over to our soapy bucket, grabbing fresh soap and continuing the process. Once we're done, we'll rinse the vehicle off and then dry it with some microfiber towels, and we'll be back with you after that. So similar to the wash, you want to dry your vehicle from the top down, just because you want to save yourself extra work of having water coming down to the places that you already dried. Second of all, Henry, what did we see with the when we were rinsing down the hood? What did we see?
It had no type of protection whatsoever. I mean, the water's just dragging. You always want beads because beads are going to just simply glide right off. But on the hood of this vehicle and around much different areas on this vehicle, like the fenders, like the door panels, the water is just dragging. And what happens whenever the water just drags, one, it makes drying a lot more difficult because it doesn't want to go anywhere. It's just dragging all over the place. And two, this is how water spots get started. The water sits, it dries up, creates water spots. So you've got some type of protection, which you're going to be seeing in this series. We're going to be doing the full whole 9 yards. You're going to see us how we're going to take this vehicle from it just water dragging, and we're gonna give you guys another 50-50 of it actually beating and how it's actually supposed to be. From the glass, to the wheels, to everywhere. Basically everywhere should be beating on the exterior of your vehicle. You should never have any water dragging whatsoever.
There was no beating whatsoever. It looked dry because of how wet it actually was. So we definitely are gonna coat this in the follow-up to this series, and we'll teach you guys exactly how to protect your car as well. Wow, guys, look at this shine. This is a completely different truck. I mean, compared to how dirty it was at the start of this until just after a simple 2-bucket method wash, it's looking amazing. Make sure to subscribe if you're not already. Give us a fat like. We're taking you through the whole detailing process, so stay tuned for the next episode. We're gonna examine the paint. We're gonna find some pretty bad scratches, I think, on this thing. And we're gonna show you the claying and polishing process next.
So guys, keep this in mind. A lot of average people would just simply be happy with just a simple wash. They'll throw on some tire shine and they'll be on their way and they'll love their vehicle. But we're gonna, like Jason said, we're gonna be taking you guys through the whole entire detailing flowchart. Subscribe and we'll see you guys next time right here at the Chemical Guys Detail Garage.